Let's head downstairs and get this recorder fixed. Let me take a look at the magma liquid and the hairs. Whatever kind of hair it is. Alright. Hey, did you obtain the sturdy mane and the super hot magma liquid? If you've got them, then I should be able to fix this magnetic tape recorder. Want to hand him the items? Yes. I mean, we'll also need to give him the recorder. Ah, so you've got him. Now's my turn to show what I can do. There's no machine that I can't fix, so watch me. So, put some oil on the hairs and replace out the broken wiring. And then we take some of the super hot magma liquid and use it to melt the ends of where the tape snapped and stick them back together. Alright, it's fixed. It seems that the magnetic tape inside is actually still okay. So why don't you try replaying it to test it out? Oh wait. Oh, he's gonna test it. Pokémamu pressed the switch on the magnetic tape recorder and a voice began to replay. When that happened, a familiar man's voice began to flow from the magnetic tape recorder. When I came to after drifting through time, I was in this cave storage. I don't know where this is. I've managed to find water and gather some fruit to satisfy my hunger. I've been wandering the surrounding area, just passing time. About the point where the loneliness became unbearable, I found Tessa collapsed outside the cave. I took Tessa in and cared for her, and when I heard her story, she revealed that she was a drifter through time, just like me. It was very reassuring to have gained a comrade in this loneliness. I told Tessa about who I was, and we agreed to work together so that I could meet my older sister again, and Tessa could meet her older sister again. In order to fulfill our great ambitions, we're going to leave this cave and head out for a town somewhere. Most of what lies ahead of us will be difficulties. However, I, Cord, and Tessa will see this through without fail. I leave this recording behind so that I don't forget my resolve. This voice, I've heard it before too. Is this actually Gulyanrash? This is his recording before he came to the capital? So he was also separated from his family and just desperately struggling to try and see them again. And then that war happened. And then he caused that war to happen? That's why he caused the war to happen? I'd do anything, too, if it meant I could see my older brother, Pokomuchi, again. If he were only still alive. Mel told Pokomamu that the one who had told her about the place where she found the old magnetic tape recorder was a person by the name of Pokomuchi. Who was also a former prisoner of war. What's that? Pokomuchi. You're not mistaken? That's my older brother. He's alive at the Dadazu mines? Thank you so much for telling me. I can't just stand around here. Now that I know that he's still alive, I have to go and see him right away. Okay. Good luck. Safe trip. It's nice that at least one thing turns out well in this story. Let's go hand this quest in. I've been waiting. So how did it go? Were you able to safely get the magnetic tape recorder repaired? Let me hear the contents of it right away. You want to give her the... Yeah, I guess so. Mel handed over the fixed magnetic tape recorder to Kikimimi. She listened to the whole of the recorded message there. This is Gulyanrash's voice. It's a good find that I was able to get an actual recording of his voice, but the contents are too far-fetched. A drifter through time? But I can confirm that I now know something about Gulyanrash's roots that no one else knows. But I'm honestly a little bit lost as to how I should feel about it. Well, this makes a full interviewer, full list of information materials concerning Gulyanrash. So all I have to do is put it together now. Oh, here's a reward. You were great, and I'm so grateful. That's ore. Oh, this whole drifters through time thing is so far-fetched that even if I wrote the truth, no one would believe it. if I use this as a plot point for a novel or something and wrote that, maybe it would be a big hit. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and change over to being a novelist. I don't know how to feel about that either. I think at this point that is gonna be all of the side quests that we've got access to in this era. I also wish the other pairs of siblings in this story could be reunited. Just doing a quick sweep here. And if I miss any, we'll pick them up later, but... yeah. Check the mines real quick. But I think that's everything. Okay. Alright then. There are a couple of side quests that we did miss from previous parts of V4. There are two that I know of that are left from 4.2. So let's backtrack to there. To Orsecco, let's see. One of them is over in the, there's a cave near the Lion's Gate with a sage in it, a human sage. And she was the one that we tracked down when we were searching for the dress in that other side quest. Oh, can we open the 08 capsule? Yeah. When I leave here, I will go open that. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, so the sage Saddam. Oh, you were from the other day. You've come at a good time. To be honest, there is a favor I'd like to ask of you. Do you know of an item called brown wood? Thinking about all the crafting materials that I've seen, that's not familiar. Brown wood is harvested from ragi trees and is a particularly high quality wood. Ragi trees only take root in very cold land and are quite rare trees, so you can't find them around here. There is a snowy mountain region to the northeast of here where the doggy trees grow naturally, but development hasn't progressed enough that we can actually enter that area. So no one has been able to confirm that they're actually growing there. Okay, so they should be there because it's colder to the north, but no one's been able to confirm. With the passage of time, eventually we'll be able to make it to that area, I suppose, but I have a feeling that you would be able to find a way to set foot in that area. This is my intuition of many long years talking. If you are able to obtain some brown wood, would you bring it back to me? Okay. Does she actually know, or is she really just working off of intuition? Thank you. If you happen to find some doggy wood, or doggy trees, then please gather 3 bundles, I guess, of brown wood. I'm sorry for asking the impossible, but I am counting on you. Well, I will do my best. We're gonna have to head out of here to modern times anyway, so we'll make a stop along the way to open up this capsule. To Azavan. Doesn't seem like it's been that long since we gained our Kame-sama pet. Yeah. But, let's see what this new one is like. We've got a capsule. Please open it for me. Alright. Oh, I don't know if I showed this one off, but this one was a present code that was available around New Year's. A snow boy with a mikan on its head. Looks a little bit different from the regular one. Not too different. Let's get 08 out here. What all does he do? Swoops around. Watch him for a minute. So cute. Alright. we need to get up to the Ragi snowfield. So we're gonna head over in modern day to Rangao village. And we need to get over to the east. So many slimes in the way. Being in the starting areas of the game makes me really want to go relive that early time. It would have been a little bit faster to go find a broom zoom and zoom to the entrance to the area over here. Or if you happened to have a zoom stone already set out here, that would work too. But I don't, so... yeah, the nun there is who you could set a stone with. Let's head on. Oh, it's probably a really good thing that it's nighttime. I think that'll make it easier to find what we're looking for. It doesn't tell us where to go, unfortunately. But we need to find 3 places to harvest wood from ragi trees here. I don't remember if this area has BGM even during the day. Alright, there's one. There is a ragi tree growing here. Do you want to harvest some brown wood? Yes. Or brown wood. Been misreading that, sorry. And from here, start heading across. That's not what I'm looking for. There's a bird coming after me. Where was it? There it is. Way up at the top over here. Alright, there's a raggy tree here. Let's harvest. That's our second one. Mel hasn't gotten that treasure yet. I'm gonna make a quick pit stop for it. Sapphire. Okay. Now for the third one, I think we need to go over this other bridge. If I can just avoid all the killer machines. Do I need to go over the bridge? I think I do. Ah, there we go. Tucked over here in the corner. Alright, here's the last one. We've collected 3 Branwoods. They are gathered in a bundle in our key items now. Okay. Let's go deliver them. Finally get some background music again. It's a little eerie not having anything to listen to there. Oh, it's you. Did you obtain the Branwood? Yes. Here you go. Here's the bundle. This is Branwood without a doubt. You really were able to obtain it. How in the world did you get this? No, more importantly, I'm going to get to work right away. There's something I have always wanted to, or long wanted to make with this. The sage Saddam took out a chisel and began carving away at the Branwood. As you watched, it took form as she carved. And a wonderful, or magnificent boomerang was completed. This is something that I promised to make for that human woman that I helped before. My apologies to you, but if you ever meet that woman, would you give this to her? Something about you reminds me of her, is similar to her. So I can't help thinking that your fate and hers will cause you to cross paths. Or your fate will cause you to cross her path. That woman's name was Mediarde. So remember it well. We have received Saddam's boomerang. Let's take a look at that. Oh wow, it looks like a bird. That's beautiful. Well, I do know where to find Mediarde, and we can go deliver it to her. So let's do that right away. To the new Eterne village. And the warp here now has a spot to take us over to the northwest housing area. Ah! She's actually right out here. Oh? Mel, you look like you have something you want to say to me. Do you want to give Mediarde Saddam's boomerang? Yes. I gave her the boomerang. What's that? Saddam made a boomerang for me? Or asked you to give this boomerang to me? To think this day would come. Salam was the one who helped me out when I washed up on the Ogrid continent after crossing time. Salam, you see, she's part of this crown of something or other. She's a very important sage. And so she's been traveling around to various places in the world. Salam taught me a lot of things about battle techniques and survival techniques. The reason that I thought that I could travel through the Ogrid wilderness on my own, even though I didn't have anything, was because of that person. Salam, she promised to make me the perfect boomerang one day. So she still remembered her promise. Oh, that's right. Mel, could you show this to Salam? A roughly carved boomerang? This is... I made this in my style. In the way that Salam taught me. I'd like you to show her this and tell Salam that I'm doing okay. Please? Mel left Mediarde's room. Oh, that's kind of cute. Is that a heart in the middle? Like with wings? It's a little hard to tell. Well, let's go give it to her, or show it to her. What did she mean when she said that I was similar to Mediarde? Was it the time crossing power? Was it something she was sensing, or was it something visual? I don't know. Thought I saw a blue treasure chest out of the corner of my eye. Okay, here goes. It's you, huh? So how did it go? Were you able to meet with that human woman named Mediarde? Want to show her the roughly carved boomerang? Yes. This boomerang. Would this be one that she made? I told her that we met with Mediarde. As I thought. I'm glad she's doing well. I can tell just by looking at this boomerang. Its construction is a little rough, but her warm personality comes through. This is a good boomerang. Or will become a good boomerang? I'm going to fix it up a little bit. Let me see it. Okay. Salam took out her chisel and began to carve away at the roughly carved boomerang. And it took shape as you watched. Or its shape became more defined. And a wonderful boomerang was completed. As I thought. This is a boomerang that is perfect for you. You have been burdened with some kind of great destiny, haven't you? Or great mission? I'm sure this boomerang will be of help to you. May it be useful on your journey. We've received the princess's boomerang. Thanks to you, I was able to fulfill my promise to Mediarde. Thank you. Okay. It's not in my key items. It is in my equipment. Oh, it's so cute. It is a heart with wings. Yep, level 1. Did it have any special characteristics to it? Nope, nothing in particular. Yeah, I think they wanted us to be able to use it to skin onto other weapons if we so chose. Super cute though. Alright, that takes care of that quest. Next we need to go to Landon Peak. This is actually right where we want to be. We want to head into the War God's Palace. We were here once before with Gulyanrash, seeking information. There should be a quest inside. Yes. Okay. So she is the guardian, basically, of the war god, which we know is evil. I don't know what that is, so let's not, for a moment. I am Morgan, disciple of the Sword Princess, which is the guardian of the seal over there. I am training here to be a magic sealer and supporting the Sword Princess. You appear to be a traveler. In honesty, there's something I would like to consult with you about concerning the Sword Princess. Would you listen to my story? Okay. Traveler, I am grateful. To tell you the truth, lately it seems like the Sword Princess, her body seems unwell. Just from the looks of her, she is acting as if everything is normal, but sometimes she gets this pained expression on her face. I'd like to be of help to her in some way. This is what I wanted to consult with you about. I can't leave the Sword Princess's side. So in my place, I would like you to go to the refugee camp at the Lion's Gate, which is off the southern part of the Snowy Mountain region in the northern part of this continent, and meet with a woman named Ango. Ango is a bright person who is both doctor and herbalist. She may be able to do something. I am counting on you. Okay. Alright. Seems easy enough. Let's head over to the Lion's Gate. No other quests here. I don't think there are any back at, not you, sorry. I don't think there are any others back at Orsecco either. But we can check after I'm done with this one. I am the head of a clan of female warriors that lived in a settlement called Gelt. Since you seem to have come all the way here to see me, do you have some business with me? We were sent by the magic sealer Morgan. So that's what we told her. Morgan. If she is relying on me, then the condition of the Sword Princess must not be good. It's not that there's no way to help, but it will be very difficult. Are you willing to do it? Do that? I don't know what that entails, but whatever it is, we'll do it. You've got a good look in your eyes. I like that. I will entrust this to you. Your name? So you are Mel. Mel, I'd like you to obtain 2 items. The first is a thin or sharp red gem called a flame stone. The killer armors in the Orseco region drop them. But the other is a more difficult task. I need some 10,000-year ice from the ice caves, or the ice lake on the eastern side of the Landon foothills. But because of the long war, the Lion's Gate has been sealed off, and they're no longer, all the paths that lead to the Landon foothills have been closed off. I can be of help to you if you can somehow obtain the 10,000-year ice and the flame stone. That I promise as the head of the Gelt clan. Okay. What do I want to get first? Let's do the one here first. For the ice, we're gonna have to head to modern day. Where were the killer armors? I think they were northeast. Of the town, so northwest of here. Thought I remembered them being on the other side of this plateau here. Yes. Oh no. Got put to sleep half a second before I could finish my attack. Let's get rid of this slime. Shield guard. Well, that did not drop. There we go. Okay. Drop the flame stone. Let's check that out. Ooh. It's like the mirror stone, only red. Cool. Alright. Let's return to modern day, present day, and find a way over to the land and foothills. I think the fastest zoom point I've got is gonna be, yeah, the inn over the bridge. At the Gelt Strait. Okay. Alright, now comes the tough part. I need to get through there. To the ice lake. But can we get into this cave over here? I want to say no, and we're gonna have to go all the way around, but we'll try it. What did we come into these caves looking for? It was a kill quest. Some kind of skeleton? A while back. Alright, cool. Excellent. We don't have to go all the way around as long as I can get to this other cave. Yeah, these skeletons, we needed them for something. Alright, here's the ice lake. Oh. There's more than one little lake. I knew it was going to be difficult to see with this ice, but here we go. Mel investigated the frozen lake. She obtained some 10,000-year ice. You have you have all the items that you were asked for gathered. Return to Ongo at the Lionsgate refugee camp. Okay. Back into the past. Oh, if it isn't Mel. Did you actually manage to obtain the items that I asked you for? Do you want to give her the flame stone and the 10,000-year ice? Yes. I'll give the items to Ongo. Without a doubt. This is 10,000-year ice from the land and foothills. Good job obtaining it. I can tell that you are prepared. You're committed. Now it's time for me to fulfill my promise. This will take a little bit of time, but you can listen to my story while you wait. Ongo sat down at that spot and used the flame stone to carve away at the 10,000-year ice. We of the Gelt tribe have a ritual where once every so many years, our strongest warriors maybe, will climb Landon Peak in order to obtain a certain spiritual plant. Spiritual medicine. This spiritual plant purifies impurity and heals. With this, whatever is causing the Sword Princess to suffer will be taken care of. But to obtain and bring back the spiritual plant requires a special tool. If the tool isn't made from 10,000-year ice from the land and foothills, then the effect will be lost. I'm assuming the effect of the medicine will be lost. It may be 10,000-year ice, but ice is still ice. With the passage of time, it will melt bit by bit, and that is why the tool must be remade every time the ceremony is held. Well, here we have it. This is the vessel which can hold the, I'm gonna go with spiritual medicine. Mel received the Gelt clan's ice vessel from Ongo. Take this, go to Landon Peak, and head for the summit. And there you must use the gesture Honigai, or to wish. The spiritual medicine is protected by a guardian known as the Water God. If you prove your power to the Water God, then you will be... Let's see. No, only those who have proven themselves to the Water God and been accepted can obtain it. Morgan, you see, she is my daughter. She went missing as a child on the snowy mountain. I despaired when I lost sight of my daughter within that blizzard. But she's alive. When she was on the verge of death, buried in the snow, she was found by the Sword Princess and saved. And after that, she has served the Sword Princess in return for giving her hope. And so I feel the same way she does about wanting to diminish the Sword Princess's suffering. I'm counting on you, Mel. Wow. That was a twist that I was not expecting. Okay, you need to head back up to the peak. And go to the summit. Yeah, that Morgan was her daughter. That was a surprise. What about this thing? Have I fought one of these? Okay. Just checking for treasure. Is this a kind of beetle? I've fought one of them before. Whoa. Is that a Gaia dragon? Kaiser dragon. Wait. I just looked at the name, I didn't stop to look at the number. I probably have fought one before. We'll fight another one, it's fine. What did that do? No! Oh, what a pain. It's immune to physical attacks. Okay. Well, I'm glad that's gone. No, it did it again. Okay. Thankfully, it wears off relatively quickly. Treasure. Red alchemy stones. Okay. Just do the gesture anywhere? Mel went to the summit of Landon Peak and made a wish. And a traveler's door appeared. Okay. Interesting. Let's go. Okay, I am, what, level 103, so let's go with normal. Ah, we should have known, it's Gilgish. That's what we've come for. Disruptive wave. Still one-shot me. Dang. Chance. Yeah. Let's try MP break on it. I don't know if it's got a finite amount of MP, but we can try. Kinda wish it would restore some of that MP to me, though. Oh, hey! Not to be totally distracted during this fight, but did you see that really cool shield that Ayumira has? I'm not gonna go over by her because I'm supposed to be tanking. Let's be real, she's tankier than I am. Oh, that laser attack. Okay. No, I got frozen. Frozen again. Good damage. Good stun, even though it was broken. No, that lasted a little while. Oof. Well, now I don't feel so bad. Alright. The water god Gilgish has been defeated. The water god tilted its neck and looked at Mel for a while. And then withdrew to the ocean of clouds. The cool air that had been floating all around the area began to gather at the center of the frozen lake. Ah, yes. I never did look at this, did I? It's a goblet carved from ice. Okay. There is a cold, clear tree that looks like glass with beautiful flowers blooming on it. Do you want to use the Gelt clan's ice vessel? Yes, I do. It does bring back memories. Mel quietly raised up the Gelt clan's ice vessel beneath the tree. A single flower fell from its branch and landed in the ice vessel. Mel has obtained the dew of the spirit tree. Or the drop of the spirit tree. Okay, I don't remember if I can actually cube from here. So pretty. Let's go ahead and use this Traveler's Gate. Did she say if I was supposed to bring it directly to... Let me check the quest. I think I just need to take this to Morgan. Yep, bring it back to Morgan. Okay, now it looks like there's something in it. Water in it. Alright, let's just use the cube to zoom across this map area. Traveler, welcome back. It seems that you have successfully accomplished something, and that is why you've come here. Let me hear the details. Mel gave the spirit tree dew to Morgan and told her what had happened up till that point. So this is spirit tree dew. I've heard of this very important medicine that has been passed down through the Gelt clan. Or spoken of among the Gelt clan. It can purify impurity and heal. With this spirit medicine, the Sword Princess's suffering will be done away with. That's what Ango said, right? So the cause of the Spirit Princess's suffering, physical suffering, is because she was wounded because of evil mist. So that's what happened. Here in the War God's Palace, an abomination of a creature called the Evil God is sealed here. That's what I was taught by the Sword Princess. It is, even now, invading this palace, making it unclean. Can you feel the evil mist that fills this place? I mean, I've seen evil mist before. There's a very creepy feeling around here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say yes. It may just be because I am immature, and there's much I don't know, but it seems that the Sword Princess, while watching over the abominable existence here, while keeping watch, is engaged in a battle that I cannot see with my own eyes. But with this spirit tree dew, even if those wounds are not healed, at very least that which is unclean can be purified and her suffering can be healed. Traveler, I am grateful to you from the bottom of my heart. It's not much, but please take this from me. Alright, it's a something fang. I still have much to learn. I will continue training as a magic sealer in order to be of use to the Sword Princess. Alright. That one's taken care of. Just gonna head to Orseko real quick and make sure there's nothing else here. Okay. I think that's it for the V2, or V2, the 4.2 side quests that I missed before. So let's head back to present time. I'm gonna stop by an inn And then I think I'm going to take a break before we continue on. And I believe we have one quest that I missed at the end of 4.1 that we're going to start with, and we'll go from there. Thank you all so much for joining me. More DQ10 in just a few minutes.